Hi and welcome along to AFTV Live. I'm joined by Gooner Lee in the building. How you doing, man?
Listen, man.
I know you've been under a lot of pressure this week. You know man. After the bold statements you made about Arsenal when we took on Man United, which I was with you, man, but didn't work out, man.
Didn't work out, man. It didn't work out. And I was saying before, man, look, I want to address the people that are coming after me. Like, any Arsenal fan that is coming after me for predicting that we were going to beat Man United, how is it? What is wrong with doing that? You should be supporting me. I feel like we need to start going to these big grounds and say, do you know what? We're going with a chest out, a bit of vim. I don't want to go there thinking that, do you know what, we have no chance, like we're going to bottle it, or we're going to, like, it's time to start changing the mindset a bit. People are calling me, I'm deluded, I'm this and that, because I said that Arsenal we're going to beat them.
To be fair, right, you know what, if that first goal wouldn't have been, I was on Gary Neville's overlap the other day. I said it to Gary Neville, I said, listen, if that first goal hadn't have been disallowed, which by the way I'm still bitter about. I still feel that goal was disallowed because of what happened the previous day, where they got all the VAR decisions horribly wrong. For them to bring it all the way back there, right, for that, and we would have went 1-0 up, I would have loved to have seen what United would have done after that, because they did basically just play a low block and, you know, play on the counter-attack at Old Trafford, which is, you know, unusual to see. But listen, I agree with you, man. We go to these places, we've got to start changing our mindset. We've got to start going to these places and saying, right, we're the better team, which we were. Well, I feel we're a better team than the way we play football. We were a bit naive. And say if we play our football and impose our football upon them, we can win this game, and we should win this game. And that doesn't mean that when you go with that attitude, you can't lose. Because of course you can. I've seen Man City flying go to Man United when they've been horrible and they still lost.
Well, look what happened on the weekend. Look, they should have won against Aston Villa with the form record, but look, they didn't pick up the points, but they still got one. They didn't pick up all 3 points, but they got a point. But for me, look, I just want to say it, like, guys, we have to start changing our mindset. I know the way I probably went into the game was a little bit, maybe a bit too gassed, but we are better than Man United. The result obviously hasn't been shown at this moment in time, but look, we can't go with these defeatist mindsets at time. And I just wanted to say that because people are killing me in the mention. I got Flex. Listen, Flex, when you come to the Emirates, make sure you show up, my brother. I just want to say that culture cams, when they come to the Emirates, make sure you show up in it. But everyone's in my mentions chatting all this madness about I'm deluded and all this stuff. I ain't deluded, bro. I just back my team. I back the team. So if you want to come at me, just come at me correct, man.
Back your team. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the Arsenal game tomorrow. Of course, Arsenal back in Europe, taking on FC Zurich in the Europa League. So we'll have a little chat about that. Player of the month. Who's going to be your player of the month for interesting nominees. September? Some really interesting nominations. And first of all, before we get stuck into that, we were talking a bit about this off air. Chelsea sacked their manager this morning, Thomas Tuchel, which really shocked me. I know they got beat last night by Dinamo Zagreb, but sacked their manager. I'll ask you this. Does that increase Arsenal's chances of getting into the top four or decrease it? It looks like they're going to bring in Graham Potter of Brighton. I think they had talks with him this afternoon. It looks like it's definitely going to be, unless Potter turns around and says he doesn't want the job, but I can't see that. Brighton have given them permission to talk to him. Potter's going to be the new Chelsea manager before the weekend. Good manager, plays a different style of football to what Tuchel does, more attacking. We've seen him take some big scalps, including ours at Arsenal, over the years. Many
times.
But never been in European football before. Never had to manage big egos like what they've got at Chelsea. Never been under that sort of pressure. That if you're at a club like Chelsea, you lose, say, 3-4 games in a row. Right? So does that help our chances of getting to the top four? In that he's going to be quite as far as a big club like Chelsea is concerned, quite a novice manager? Or does that make our chances of getting to the top four worse because he's so good?
Look, for me, I feel like it does decrease the chances of us getting to the top four, and I'll tell you the reason why. Firstly, I don't think he's going to make some bozo decisions that the likes of Tuchel was making by playing Gallagher in centre midfield, by playing Havertz game in, game out, by playing certain players. Maybe, look, I like Cucurella, but giving more chances to someone like Chilwell, you know, and then we go into the fact that he's going to obviously straight away come in and have a style of play. Up to now, I want a Chelsea fan to tell me what was Tuchel's style of play, because I don't know.
Three at the back, innit?
Yeah, but three at the back. But what?
Three at the back with wing backs.
Yeah, but for me, I don't see as we know how Chelsea play. So, we know how Liverpool play. We know how Arsenal play. We know how even Man United, to a certain respect, are playing right now. We know how Man City are playing. But yes, we have three at the back. But what is it? Is it counter-attack? Is it progressive? Is it possessive? What is it? For me, I don't know what the clear strategy is for Chelsea, whereas I think with Graham Potter, he's got a clear identity. It's going to take him a bit of time, but Chelsea have quality players. They do. They have some really quality players. And I think with Graham Potter, he's going to lift their spirits and give them clear direction. That's what footballers want nowadays. But they want clear direction.
It might take him a little time.
It will.
To bed in.
But you see,
might take him. Is he going to be able to handle the? You see, the thing is, Thomas Tuchel is what I'd class in one of the elite managers.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
What do you mean? He's won the Champions League.
Guys, look, I just want to...
He's won the Champions League.
Okay, but so did Di Matteo. But does it make him a great manager?
Come on, man. You can't
look, we have to start giving... We need to start saying, look, sometimes we look at stats and we look at figures and we look at trophies won and we say, where is this manager in world football? What's his reputation like? He was compared...
He's got a big reputation.
He was compared to the likes of Klopp. And because he beat, I think, Pep 3 or 4 times in the first season, they started lauding him as this amazing manager. But when we look at his Premier League record, it's not good. When we look at his last 15 games, his stats at home for Chelsea is one of the worst stats, I think, in the last 30 years for Chelsea's home record.
Listen,
it's right? He's a bad manager.
He got, and it's not for me to be defending Chelsea managers, right? And I was laughing that he got sacked, but when you really look at it, right, he's one of the elite managers, right? He's not. He got them to the Champions League final, in which they beat Manchester City, the favourites. They won the Champions League. He won the World Club Cup. He won the World Super Cup. He got to 2 finals last year. I think people forget.
He's a good cup manager.
One second. Last year he got to 2 finals, the FA Cup final and the League Cup final. Lost them both on penalties. Didn't lose them. And actually, in both games, I actually thought that they were the better team, right? So it's very small margins there. He had to negotiate last season, a whole season, well, not the whole season, but a big portion of that season where the owner of the club, who's been literally the mainstay there for the last 20 odd years, was sanctioned. They weren't allowed to, at one stage it was like almost like the club could close down. Then they were only allowed a few thousand fans in there. He had to negotiate all that, and he still got them in the top 4. He's one of the elite managers. Now, Graham Potter, I think, is a top manager. I really, really rate him. I think he's a good manager. But I think somebody like Graham Potter, if you bring him in, he's going to take time. He's never managed in the Champions League before, or even any European competition, right? He's not been used to managing big egos. Now he's going to have, you know, big name players, Aubameyang, Raheem Sterling,
and he should be able to extrapolate
Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Kante. These are big names, right? You got on a week-to-week basis. You might have to leave some of these guys out, right? We've not seen. I'm not saying he can't do this, but we've not seen him do that. It might take him a little time to settle. And the one thing we know about Chelsea is you don't get a lot of time at that club. And despite what I've been reading where they're saying they're going to give him a bit more time, I don't know. I could still see it if he didn't get into the top 4, end of the season, see you later, you know, he'd be gone. That's how Chelsea operate. But I think I would be more worried with Tuchel in charge, because at some stage during the season he'll definitely get it right, than Graham Potter, because Graham Potter, as good a manager as he is going to have to learn his trade. So I think it's actually helped Arsenal's chances of getting into the top 4. That's my opinion. I don't know what your opinion is out there, but that's my opinion. I actually think the sacking of Tuchel is good news for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think.
What do you guys think?
I think on the face of it, yeah, it looks a good move, because we're looking at, or we're prophesying that this guy is a lot better than what he actually is. For me, I just feel like he's done really well in the cup competitions. He's made a lot of good moves in the cup competitions. But when you look at his Premier League record, in the first season, he scraped top 4. Look, he did it, but he scraped top 4. Last season,
he did it. It don't matter about scraped. He did it. He got top 4.
Yes, but what we're trying to say,
scrape whatever. He got Robbie, top 4.
If we're thinking about elite managers, if you're comparing him to the 2 elite managers we have in the Premier League, he doesn't come close. So how can he be elite? How? He doesn't come close to the points. He doesn't come close.
No, he's won a Champions League before. Pep hasn't won one in this country.
I said Di Matteo won it.
There's three managers in the Premier League that have won the Champions League at the moment, right? Klopp, Pep, when he's at Barcelona, and Tuchel. He's an elite manager. Once you win that Champions League, I think, what he's done, even at club level over in Germany and everything, he's one of the elite managers. What he did over when he was at PSG, he's one of the elite managers, right? And I'm saying Graham Potter is one of the best sort of up-and-coming managers. Graham Potter will kind of be like a bit like Arteta, where you're going with a guy who's got a great reputation within the game, but it's going to take time. We've seen it with Arteta. It takes time. You got to give a guy like this time. So,
Robbie, hold on. No. I need to stop you there. They've just spent 270 million pounds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we cannot compare Potter, who firstly has a much better pedigree in world football currently. Well, when they both started at where Tuchel.
Compare Tuchel.
Potter is and where Arteta is. Of course, Potter's got a bigger and better reputation. Of course he has.
No, but I'm saying that when Arteta came to Arsenal, he came with a big... Even though he hadn't managed yet, he was number 2 to Pep Guardiola, and everybody lauding him up and singing his praises and saying that this guy's destined for big things. Yeah. Very similar to Potter, although Potter has managed. Yeah. I know he was at Ostersund's before. Done his... he has...
They've also spent a lot of money.
True.
And I think so. They've got a lot. He has a lot to work with.
I think Chelsea. He's a great manager. I think he's well, not great. I think he's a top manager. But it's a different test now for him. Going to Chelsea, we know it's a basket case then. We know what they're like, man. I don't care what they say. That guy goes in there, lose 3-4 games. They'll want him gone. Nah, they won't. No. That's my opinion on it. I think
they've changed now. The transfers, you can see by the transfer policy they've got, I think they've changed. They know that we want to go in a different avenue. They've bought the Omari Hutchinson. They've bought a guy from I think
them guys ain't gonna play. Where are they gonna play? Chocolate Maker, and they ain't getting no game time. Especially now. He's gonna have to go in and he's gonna have to produce.
When did Chelsea ever spend £40 million on one player? That's what they spent to get this buddy.
They do it all the time. I mean, they spent £100 million on Lukaku.
No, £40 million.
Listen, I'm glad that Tuchel's gone. That's my opinion, because to me he's more of a threat. Let's get some of your opinions on it. Let's see. Two for Nell says, he says, man, it's not that deep. We lose one game. I think he's going on about the Man United thing. And some people need to build their mental strength.
Yes,
it's a long season, everyone. It's more about what you can endure till the end. So is someone backing you there? Gunning you down says, actually, no, we're going to get to that later on, what he was saying. This guy called Harry Kane says, this is why Tuchel should never have messed with Conte. It's karma, he says, after that incident. Mujid Ahmed says, the only way we get into the top 4 is if Tuchel joins Arsenal. Jeez. Chelsea are not even going to get into the top 6, says Coasters for Life. If Chelsea finish above Arsenal this season, then everybody out, says Game 3. There's another one here. Let me see. There's so many of them coming in. Gooner Lee is falling for the hype.
No, it's not nothing to do with falling with the hype, man. I'm just trying to say to you, Tuchel, look what he's been doing look at his Premier League record. You look at his Premier League record and you will see in the Premier League he's not done well. And you have to, if you don't want to go off the stats, I'm going off the stats. He hasn't played, he hasn't done well, he hasn't managed well. He's a great cup manager, fantastic cup manager. Some people are like that. because you can navigate just 2 games against the same opposition sometimes, or that 1 game at home or away. But when you have to go for the 38 games, endure, go home and away against some of these tricky teams, Crystal Palaces, your Leicesters, your Watfords last season, etc., etc., you then have to think about all of that. It's different, man. And Tuchel has shown that he is not cut from that cloth. He's not good enough. And he was compared to the likes of Klopp. For me, he's not an elite manager. He's a good manager. He's not an elite manager. I might even add in. I'll add in Conte as well. He's an elite manager. I'll add in Klopp, of course.
Conte's more elite manager than Tuchel.
Of course,
Tuchel's won the Champions League. Conte.
Oh, Robbie, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
Robbie, man.
Tuchel's won the Champions League. That's the biggest prize in football.
So hold on. So you're saying Conte's not an elite manager?
No, I didn't say he wasn't.
But you're saying.
No, but you're saying he's.
So it's Di Matteo.
No, hold on.
It's Di Matteo.
No, you can't compare it because he's won things. Di Matteo just came in at the last minute.
And he navigated the Champions League.
Navigated to the Champions League.
So is he a bigger
very luckily, and they won that. But actually, he never done anything apart from that in football. He's just a stopgap guy. Came in, did that. This guy's done things in football. He's won leagues. Even when he was at Paris Saint-Germain, where he won the league, he won everything there. He got them to the final of the Champions League that season.
Can I ask you one question?
He's used to dealing. Wait one second.
Okay.
He's used to dealing with big names. He's one of the elite managers. He come to Chelsea and won them the Champions League in a season when nobody thought they would have any chance of winning it. Of course, he's an elite manager.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you then. At Barcelona, Pep won the Champions League. Was it twice with Barcelona?
He's an elite manager.
Okay, but I'm going to go to the point where he went to Bayern Munich and he failed on 3 or 4 occasions to win the Champions League with Bayern Munich, unfortunately. And he came to Man City and he's failed so far to win the Champions League with Man City. But
he's an elite manager because he's won Champions League and he's won multiple leagues. Let
me get to my point. We know that that generation that he had with the crop of players they had at Barcelona was probably the best 11, 12, 13 players that have ever existed together. So if we take that anomaly away...
So he's not elite either?
No. But you're saying that because a man has won a Champions League, that gives him the God-given right to be...
That sends him up there. And it's not just the Champions League.
He's
won league... Listen, he's won league titles, he's won cups... He's won the Champions League, he's won the Super Cup, he's won the World Club Cup. And as I said, even last year, in a season where Chelsea last season were in the mud because of what happened to Abramovich, he's still got them to the FA Cup final, he's still got them to the League Cup final, which he lost both of those on penalties. And he got them into the top 4, something that we couldn't do. He's one of the elite managers. He squeezed every last drop out of that team last year.
Okay, hold on. Do you know what's jokes? Look at Conte's done in Italy. He started a dynasty.
He's an elite manager, Conte.
Yeah, he started a dynasty with Juventus and he ended it. That dynasty with Inter Milan, he broke up that monopoly.
He's an elite manager.
Yeah,
but he's never won the Champions League.
Yes, but you can't say that he's not more of an elite manager than Tuchel.
The argument wasn't about who's more of an elite manager or not. It was about, is he an elite manager? Yeah. Conte's an elite manager, but so is Thomas Tuchel.
But
I'm saying to you,
who's a better manager?
Graham, one thing we do know is at this moment in time, Graham Potter is not an elite manager. So for me, I would be more fearful of Chelsea with a Tuchel than Graham Potter. And this is not a disrespecting Potter because I actually think he's a top manager and he was destined for a big job, but it's going to take him time. So this, to me, I look at this as an opportunity for Arsenal. We're going to be ahead of them because he's going to have to come in, he's going to have to settle down, he's going to have to settle down the whole thing. He's going to have a whole load of pressure on him. Right, a whole load, something that he's never had to go through in his life at Brighton. There was a little period last season at Brighton where they were going for a horrible period. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And he had to, the fans were booing, and he had to go to the fans and say, "Yo, can you guys, remember we're little old Brighton? I mean, give us a chance and stuff like that." He can't do that at Chelsea. If they're going through a bad time, he ain't going to be able to go to Chelsea fans and say, "Guys, listen, give us a break." They're going to be like, "Break. We're going to break your contract, mate. Off you go. Get someone else in."
You have to give it credence to say, look, he's got some good players. He's got some good players at Brighton. He's now going to have some excellent to world-class players that he can put a formation, he can put a tactic in place to get these players.
Very true, but you've got to get those players going. Supposing he's it's Chelsea. So, you start Cucurella, you might say, right, you're not going to start Cucurella every week because I know him from Brighton. But then he might hear, so who's that? He opens his door, Ben Chilwell standing there. Yeah, boss, what's going on? How comes I ain't getting a play? Well, when since was Cucurella better than me? I want to be playing. It's a World Cup year. I want to get in the England. All those pressures, he's not had to deal with those things before. He's not had to deal with those. So this is why I see it as an opportunity for Arsenal. I see it as an opportunity for Arsenal that, you know, I think this could benefit us. I really do. It's my opinion. You've got your opinion. Of course. Everybody out there's got their opinion. But, you know, that Daily Feast, that's a bit horrible. He says the person next to you is making no sense.
Listen, come to follow my channel, man. You see.
Diallo says, I'm shocked, but the writing was on the wall for Tuchel. Eros says, finally, Arsenal can beat Brighton. That's true. Will we beat Chelsea? Dapo M says, Lee's 100% correct. He's playing with the checkbook of Pep and getting compared to Arsenal and Spurs. Tuchel failed the eye test. Forget the stats. Love. Well, listen, I wouldn't mind that stat, a Champions League. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind that stat at all.
Stats on everything though, man.
Champions League. Nice stat to have, man. Gunning you down says we need to focus on ourselves. We do need to focus on ourselves, but I was just sort of, you know, I'm just sort of raising the point that for me, I think this could be something good for Arsenal because it's going to take him a little time to get, you know, hit the ground running. That's just my opinion. It's a big job, you know.
It's a big job. It's a big job.
It's a big job at Chelsea. But anyway, as that in the famous words of that, I love that meme, by the way. Every time Chelsea lose, I just send it out. You know, I go, excuse me, do you support Chelsea?
I don't want to say the rest, but
we move on. We are doing a poll today for our Arsenal Player of the Month. Yeah? Arsenal Player of the Month. We've got 4 candidates, 4 strong candidates for that job, for that award. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, William Saliba, and you know the final one is?
Let me know.
Guess.
You know what? I know who it is. But I want you to tell me first because I want to mention someone else who's been, I think, excellent.
Martin Odegaard, he has. Gabriel Jesus, 3 goals, been absolutely phenomenal since he's come in. He's been brilliant. He was great again against United. He was spinning Lisandro Martinez all over the place. Gabriel Martinelli really stepped up this season. 3 goals this season for him as well. Should be 4.
Yeah.
Should have scored. Brilliant. By the way, that was what a goal that was on his right foot.
How many assists has he got? He's got 2 assists? Or I think he's got 3
I'm not sure
goals.
if he's got an assist, but
3
assists as well?
Yeah.
Great. That goal with his right foot, you know.
Yeah.
He's been on fire, Gabriel Martinelli. William Saliba. Come in.
Goal of the month contender.
Goal of the month contender for that goal against Bournemouth. Hit the ground running. Remember, this guy is his first season
in the Premier League.
Kept
Zaha quiet.
First season in the Premier League. And Martin Odegaard has been absolutely brilliant. He's been everywhere. He's been absolutely essential to the way we've been playing. He's just been absolutely superb. How do you pick a winner out of those?
Do you know the joke of it? And I don't know what the chat think. Let me know in the chat, man.
Well, I'll give you. We're running a poll in the chat, and I want people to vote in it.
I want to add someone else in there, though.
All right, you're going to get to add, but let me just tell you what the voting is at the moment. At the moment, 30% say Saliba.
I was going to say. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was about to say the captain. I was like, what?
30% Odegaard, 31% Jesus, 23% Martinelli, 15% Saliba.
Yep.
That is really close.
Yep.
You guys can vote in that poll right now. Get voting right now. Who is your player of the month?
Look, before I actually tell you who I believe is going to be or should be player of the month, I want to give a special mention and a shout out to Ben White. I think Ben White he's so unlucky to miss out. And look, there's no disrespect to the 4 players. I love all 4 players on that list, and I really, really believe that they deserve to be there. But I think Ben White's performances this season, they're going under the radar. I think even the fact that Saliba's looked so good is partially because Ben White's looked and done some solid work. I think the game, if we go through and we dissect in like a minute all the games that he's played, I really can't think of anyone else that's really kind of surpassed him. Xhaka has also been good.
Well, funny enough, this guy said, Jep says, I bet Lee is thinking of Xhaka.
No. So I think
Prince Thomas says, when was the last time we've had a debate about our player of the month? Good signs, Robbie. Fan all the way from Barbados. Big up. And he said, it sucks I can't send a super chat. Don't worry about that. We've got you up there, Prince Thomas. Yeah. But that's true what he's saying, isn't it? Yeah. When was the last time we were debating who's going to be... Because normally, if we have got a player of the month, last season it was just player of the month, Saka.
Yeah, we know.
Player of the month, Saka. Who's the player of the month? Saka. You know what I mean? But truly this month, you've got, like you said, you've got those four that I've just mentioned. Ben White's a great shout.
Xhaka's another great shout.
Xhaka's another great shout. Yep. You know? Yep. So 6 possible contenders for it. Zinchenko?
I think because he's missed a couple of games, I wouldn't put him, but he's been excellent. But I think with Ben White, I think he's grown into the role. I think the way that he's learning how to overlap, I think some of the skill that he's done, I saw him up live in personal against Fulham, and he was excellent, driving, marauding forward, defending. He got a yellow card in the first game against Crystal Palace and kept Zaha quiet. I think all of that encompassing, I think Ben White has been exceptional this season. And for me, it's not a disgrace that he's not in that top 4, but I do really think that he's been an instrumental part for why we are playing the way we are playing currently. He wasn't great on the weekend, but look, one game that he's played relatively apart. Look, some poor mistakes he made in parts against Man United, but look, he's been really, really good, and I'll be shocked if anyone doesn't think that he's been good enough to get that award. But going off what you're saying in the top 4 who are Arsenal nominated, I have to give it to Martinelli, man. Look, we know what Jesus has brought to the team. We know what Jesus is in this team. We know how pivotal he is. But I think I need everyone to really think about what we expected from Martinelli last season and this season, what he's producing. I think we wanted to see a lot more sort of vigour. We wanted to see better runs. We wanted to see better finishing, which was really labelled at him as a poor thing that he's struggling with. And I think not only is it the goals he scored, but you see the goal he scored against Leicester with his left foot, his weaker foot. We saw how confident he was. He made the mistake in the first game where he missed in like the first 5 minutes. We were here watching it live against Crystal Palace. What did he do? He didn't put his head down. He scored a goal. He scored the opening goal that kind of got us on the roll. And I think not only that, there's some things you can't measure. The intangibles where he just... the way he ripped Dalot on the weekend, man, for me, like some of the stuff you can't measure. Some of the stuff you can't measure. And look, I think if Jesus gets it, he's a worthy winner. But I will also say, for me, I think Martinelli just tips it for me. Just this month, I think.
All right. Dodgy Bob says, I don't think Jesus deserves it. He's been okay, but not scored the goals a number 9 should. Look at Haaland. Give it to Odegaard. Hey, listen, what Haaland has done has been something unbelievable. Scoring 2 hat-tricks in a row. 3 goals from how many league games that is now?
6.
That's 1 in 2.
1 in 2, yeah.
That's good. What's wrong with these people? Right? And not only...
And Dodgy Bodge, can I just say, look who we had last season. And now look who we've got up front.
And look what I've liked about Jesus. You've made a case for Martinelli, and I agree with everything you're saying there. Jesus has lifted Arsenal.
The quality as well.
The quality. He looks like he has lifted Martinelli.
I was going to say.
Because Martinelli's looking to him and thinking, wow. And he's lifted Martinelli. And he's lifted all the players around him. And you know now you've got a player. You can get that ball up to him. Not only can he hold it up, he can spin in behind. He's looked absolutely superb. £45 million for Gabriel Jesus. Right? No wonder Real Madrid wanted him. No wonder Chelsea tried to hijack it. Right? He is an absolute top quality player. Then we look at a Martin Odegaard. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about Odegaard. He's been brilliant.
I think, again, you know what I like about Odegaard? Everyone last season was a little bit like, is this guy really part of the team? Can he do it against the big teams? Can he kind of score the goals? And even this season, we've seen on 3, 4, 5 occasions where he's not really shot when he had that opportunity. But look, you got to think, he's our captain. And again, I was at the Fulham game. He drove us forward. He kept going.
Three goals for him as well.
3 goals. He kept probing. And I think what was labelled at Ozil, which Odegaard doesn't ever do, is he works. He runs. If he's having a poor game, he keeps going. He keeps pushing forward. And look, some people are going to say, oh, what, your captain got subbed on Sunday. What kind of captain is that? Sometimes it's horses for courses. There's so many games that he's played in the space of a month, and you can't say, oh, because he's been subbed off that he's not a good captain or he's not played well. And even if he didn't play well, Henderson doesn't play well for Liverpool sometimes, but what is it? He's a dog. He keeps working. And for me, 23 years old, he's the creative player in us. Everything runs through Odegaard, and for me, Odegaard is an exceptional player. And what I'm liking is he's adding goals to his game. He's not that consistent with the shooting, but he is an exceptional player. He's not on the level of like David Silva, of course.
He's a driving force, though.
He's a driving force.
You can see why this player, at the age of 16, all the top 15, all the top European teams were after him. He's absolutely brilliant. He's been absolute class. He's a captain. He's the driving force. Like you said, he scored goals, 3, like you said, 1 and 2
pivotal goals. Pivotal goals. The equaliser against Fulham, that was an exceptional goal. It was. I know it deflected, but listen, the way he's cutting in, driving, cutting in and shooting. How many times are we shooting? Everyone in this, I know everybody in the chat. Everyone we always say, shoot. What does he do? He starts shooting, he scores. So for me, look, I didn't even want to interrupt you, but I just really want to kind of hammer home how important he is to our team, because look, not only do we have a young crop of players, but they need to start getting a bit of ego about them. They need to have a bit of character about them. And he's the captain of Norway at 20. He was captain at 22, and now he's a captain of Arsenal at 23. And for me, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get more used to being in London.
The other big candidate on there, talk about him, William Saliba.
Listen, I can't wax lyrical. You know what? Shout out to my boy Matt, because at the start of the season, he sort of mentioned that's going to be his player to watch out for. And look, Saliba is everything that we thought and more. He's the hype is real with this guy. And you know what? I kept saying, everyone kept mentioning he's the Mbappe of centre-backs. Everyone kept mentioning it. And you know what? He's coming in clutch. He's not the Mbappe of centre-backs yet, but he's very, very good. And you know what? I want to shout out to the chat, because people kept mentioning, I shouldn't talk about comparing him to Van Dijk, or saying he's our Van Dijk. That was what I said a couple of weeks ago when I went to the Fulham game with you. But he's his own man, and I want to give him the credit for being his own man, his own kind of player. I think on the weekend, he wasn't at fault for any of the goals. There was another centre-back that was at fault for the goals, but I'm not going to mention him because people are going to talk about me saying that I've got a witch hunt against him. But for me, Saliba he's a colossal. He's a man mountain. And again, when I saw him up live, I'm like, and I'm 6'3", and he looks like he's 21, but he looks 20. He's towering. He's a beast, man. And look, not only does he do the defending, but he scores wonder goals. The goal he scored against Bournemouth was out of this world. Like it put Zinchenko on his knees. It put Zinchenko on his knees with absolute, just flabbergasted. So I think Saliba's been excellent. Saliba's been excellent, but I don't think he's been on the level of Martinelli. I think Martinelli's kind of, for me anyway, Martinelli's kind of just pushed it to that next level. But look, some people, all 4 of them in their own right are worthy winners, and I wish I could pick all 4. But
at the moment, it's Gabriel Jesus is just edging it, right? Keep voting in that poll. 2,137 votes so far. Keep voting in that poll. Who for you should get the Arsenal Player of the Month for September? And like that guy said earlier, it's just great to be talking about so many candidates, and there's others beyond that we could add into it. Like I said, like guys like Xhaka, who's also had...
And Ben White.
And Ben White as well, who've also been really, really good. So it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good. It's really good.
Lamb Dop says... So I am... Dop says, Martinelli is underrated, to be honest. He deserves this.
You know what though? I don't even think he probably is underrated. But you know what hurt more? I think you know what hurt more is that a lot of Man United fans were still not rating him. They were saying, Dalot had the better of him.
No chance.
I thought that was absolutely disgraceful, to be honest. I thought that Sunday game showed what he's about. And the way he got in behind Dello and finished, it was exceptional. It was a really, really good finish. So for me, I really want to give Martinelli his praise.
Yeah, Earhart49 says, Odegaard is quality. Arsenal lucky to have him. All the criticism is by people who know little about football. And Dave Jordan says, Rob, help me out. Winger, Emery, Vieira, Arteta all rate Xhaka, but the great football minds like Potts and Turkish don't. By the way, Potter and Arteta...
I think that was Wenger.
Better than that.
Rob, he said, I think it's Wenger and Emery.
Huh?
I think
Wenger, yeah, he put winger there.
Yeah.
I mean, but he meant, Rob, Wenger, Emery, Vieira all rated Xhaka. That's true. I think Xhaka's having a good season. He had a good season last year as well, to
underrated.
be fair.
He had an underrated.
And he's having a good season this year. Ezel says Martinelli is the best young player, best young winger in the world, in my opinion. Better than Saka. Ooh, so underrated. Thank God Lee mentioned him. Ben White as well. He's been consistent as well. So, it's good. It's good that we're getting this, but I want to know from you guys who gets your player of the month. And loads of you guys are in the chat, giving your opinions, and we're loving that.
I think I just wanted to just quickly touch on the Dave Johnson. Turkish does rate Xhaka. I think the problem with Xhaka, and it's fair to be lauded and put at his front door, is the inconsistencies. And we always go back to this. We don't have many leaders we didn't have many leaders in our team. And the one staple leader that we could probably say, and the club captain, always let us down. Losing the ball, getting sent off. So I think that's where Xhaka kind of had a bit of a sour taste in Turkish's kind of mindset. But no, I don't think that he's...
Mitchell says, I hate how much we overhype our players. It sets them up to fail. Well, don't you want to big up the player when he's doing well? What should we just whinge and moan at him all the time?
And this is what we go back to.
He's doing well. Mindset. He told you at the start of the show.
Listen,
mindset.
Guys, we need to change the mindset. Honestly, I'm going to look in the camera and say this. The mindset of Arsenal fans, I know we're on a high right now, and we haven't been playing good football over the last 3 years. And for the last 10 years, we've been down in the dumps. We've been down in the mud. We've been struggling to get into positions of any success. And I know we've got a couple of FA Cups, but if we want to get to the places where Man City want to get or are at, and where Liverpool were at or currently at, we need to start putting more onus and bigging up our players. We don't have to go crazy and say that they're world class, because they're not. But we have to start putting them on the table of some of the better players in the league, and we have to start asking and demanding more from them. The same way how we demand more from Arteta. The same way how all of you at home want more from the Cronkies. So if we want to get better and we want to progress and move up the table and be fighting Man City, we can't go to Man United and think 1-1 is a good result, or if we lose this game but then we win the next 5 is good. I want to see everyone in this chat start bigging up the players more. I want to see more people kind of giving more onus on these young players and saying, do you know what? They are carrying Arsenal Football Club, the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest club in London. And too many times people are like, oh, it's a process, it's this, it's that. Listen, we are in a process, but the process is, it looks to be going good right now. And we need to start backing them and putting them on a higher pedestal, because, look, we were 2 points off top 4 last season. Some people could say progress, some people might say it's not progress. But for me, we want to start pushing forward.
Yeah. Entertainment Junkie says, I think Martinelli is a winner. He's very underrated. Sancho JS7 says, as a United fan, I absolutely rate Martinelli. Class player. Yep. So, lots of ratings for Martinelli. Talking about that, there was one comment there, I was just trying to find it there, where he was... I can't find it now, but basically he was just sort of talking about if we get a chance to see Marquinhos tomorrow. Of course, Arsenal tomorrow back into Europe. Was out of it last season, of course. We're back into the Europa League, taking on FC Zurich. And this guy was saying he would like to see Marquinhos play. I get a feeling Marquinhos could play. I don't think Saka will start that game. I'll be very surprised. We got a game at the weekend, of course, against Everton, and this is what the new stuff that we're going to have to live with: Thursday, Sunday, and we got that for about the next 5 weeks. Thursday, Sunday. Do you think Marquinhos could get a start? You know, I mean, he was brought in at Arsenal really to probably go straight out on loan. He's done so well in training with the first team and also in playing for the under-23s. They've drafted him into the first team squad. Nicolas Pepe's gone out on loan, and this is an opportunity for Marquinhos. We might get to see him tomorrow. The other player we might get to see a bit of, made a little cameo when he came on against Man United. I thought he looked all right, actually, is Fabio Vieira.
Do you know, I know it's probably a bit of a side note, but there is method to the madness. I don't know if Brennan is ESR injured? Is he out of the game?
I think he's out of the game. So he hasn't travelled.
I was thinking maybe, but I think what will happen is
no ESR, no, of course, no Reece Nelson, no Partey, no, as we know, no El Neni, and no Cedric either. He hasn't travelled either.
Oh, snap. So we know it's going to be Tomiyasu going to play right back. I think it might be, I don't know, it's a weird one because I think Fabio Vieira might play that Saka role and then you might put McKean or either or. It's a tough one because you don't want to play the first teamers because obviously we got a more important game in my opinion on Sunday. But at the same time, you don't want to go to a team that's bottom in their league and not pick up points and do sort of similar to what Chelsea did yesterday because I
was going to ask you this, what would you do then? Do you... This, you know, Europa League, do you say to yourself, right, let's go out there and just get this thing over and done with early? Go out there, smash Zurich. Next week we got PSV at home. Then 2 games against Bodo Glimt. Do you just say to yourself, right, win at least 3 of them, we're through? Because you are more or less winning that. Yeah. So go hard on the first 3. Then at least for the rest of the games now you can kind of chill out a bit.
You know, I want to ask the question back to you though. I want to ask you, do you think our second team is good enough to beat these teams? Because if the second team is, then play the second team.
I feel the second team should be good enough.
But who is the second team? We know it's what's his name? Matt Turner. Who, we know Tomiyasu's probably going to play right back.
Now that Cedric's not there, but you could play Tomiyasu. Rob Holding. I guess you'd probably have to leave Gabriel in there, or you could
Ben White.
You could play a Ben White there
because he came off
but
early.
I think I'd like to rest him for the weekend. Tierney.
Yeah.
You know, because Zinchenko, we know
the midfield is the problem,
right? Lokonga, right?
Xhaka's going to
Fabio Vieira, Xhaka, and then up front you could have like you can have Eddie Nketiah, Marquinhos. I would like to see, and over on the left wing I would probably start Martinelli. That team should be good enough to beat FC Zurich. FC Zurich, who haven't won a game this season, by the way, played 7 games, haven't won a game yet. That team should be good enough to beat them. Obviously, PSV is a much better team. PSV were in the Champions League qualifiers, but got knocked out by Rangers. So they're not a top team, are they? I mean, no disrespect to Rangers, but they got knocked out by Rangers, who lost 4-0 at the weekend to Celtic. Right? That says to me, PSV ain't one of the top.
And Gakpo, I watched Gakpo. He wasn't great in that game.
He missed a lot of chances in that game, didn't he? And then Bodo Glimt, who, come on.
I thought he was calling him going to the bowling alley. I was like, what is it? Oh, he said bowling alley.
I don't like to diss no team.
I've never heard of
I remember actually he was going the Graham Potter thing. I remember, I think I said earlier on he never played in Europe. He did actually play in Europe because I remember going to Ostersund. I was there. Absolutely, that's the coldest game of football I've ever watched in my life. Right? It's freezing. Absolutely freezing over there. Was it as in Sweden?
Yeah, Sweden,
and they came back to the Emirates. They beat us. So, you know, but by that time we'd already have everything wrapped up in that. And that's what I'm saying. If we can go out, get this thing wrapped up early, then that helps us. Because I was, funny enough, I was looking at it earlier. Let me see if I can
and what's our
get these
fixture
details
list?
up. Yeah, I was gonna tell you that. So if you look at it at the moment, right? So we got the game in Europe now. Tomorrow. And we'll play Everton on Sunday, yeah? Then next week we've got PSV Eindhoven at home, which is significant. When you're playing them at home, you'd expect us to win. Then on the weekend we've got Brentford away.
Okay.
Right?
Tough game.
Then Tottenham go into the break. We go into the international... well, it's not even international. Yeah, it is an international break. We go into that. Come back, we've got Tottenham. Then on the Thursday we've got Bodo Glimt. Yeah? But then on the Sunday, following that, we've got Liverpool. So you could play a very weakened team. It's Bodo Glimt at
home.
Home. that's very kind to us, because at home against Bodo Glimt, you'd expect us to win that. We could play a real second team there. And then
should have Partey back as well.
The following week is Bodo Glimt again away. Right, so again, we could have it all wrapped up by then if we win those first 3 games. Could afford to go and play a weakened team against Bodo Glimt, and then we got Leeds away, and then midweek after that is City, and we don't play our last couple games until the end of October. 27th of October, PSV Eindhoven, and then we finish off with FC Zurich at home on the 3rd of November. I think if we can go and win the first 3 games, we've wrapped it up.
Yeah, of course.
Because, you know, we've got loads of other chances then, like FC Zurich at home, last game. If we need 3 points off of that, come on. So,
and what's important as well is we have to finish top, because if we finish second, we play a qualifier against the Champions League team that drops down, I think. I'm sure if you people in the chat, tell me if I'm not wrong. I think if you finish second in your Europa League team, group, you play the team that drops down from the Champions League. So if you finish top, you get a bit of time off. You think you get a bit of time off? Okay,
Gooner Vettel here making a good point. He says Bodo Glimt on an artificial grass is not going to be easy. They're the best team we've had in Norway for probably 20 years.
I didn't know they had an
artificial pitch, right? I tell you, one player won't be playing in that game. And that's Thomas Partey.
Oh, no.
On an artificial pitch.
Big up Gooner Vettel, though, man. She's a legend, whoever it is.
So very, very good point made there. This is a favourable group to us.
Yeah, of course, 100%. 1,000, not even 1,000. If we didn't make it out of this group, man, Arteta.
Yeah, he'd be in trouble.
Man, Arteta. Woo.
Yeah. This guy just said to me, Patrick Roberts, Rangers losing 3-0 at half-time to Ajax at the moment.
Wow.
As well. But, you know, man, Gooner Vettel says to smash that like button. Yes, keep smashing that like button, people.
Yeah, I love good. Listen, they're proper good people.
But I'm telling you, I want us to play a mixed bag tomorrow. Yes, you have some first teamers in there because you don't want to disrespect Zurich.
Look, you know what? No, this is a bigger question for you, though. What other first teamers do you take? Because it's a bit of a wasted time to take players who you probably know you're not going to play. So we know Partey's probably...
You won't take Partey, no.
No. But, like, you see, for example, someone like... For me, I want Saka rested. I don't want him even anywhere near
I'd take Saka.
What is the point? It's a waste of time.
Because supposing... All right, so let's just say, for instance, you went over there and... It weren't going right. You got to think of those scenarios as well. You went over there, you lose, you're 2-0 down. Please. But you go over there.
Hey, listen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
You go over there, you're 2-0 down. Listen, no Chelsea fan thought they'd lose to Dinamo Zagreb, right? But you go over there, you're 2-0 down to Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
You've got to have the reinforcements on to FC Zurich. You've got to have the reinforcements on the bench that you say, yo, Saka, warm up, man. Go and get me a couple goals. So I would bring those players, but I wouldn't use them unless I have to. And let's remember, it's not like you're not going away to, I don't know,
where are they in their league?
Shakhtar Donetsk.
What position are they?
Going away to, you know, what's them teams in
Azerbaijan
and it's like a 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Zurich, that's like an hour away.
But what they're bottom, aren't they? They're bottom.
Second from bottom. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not taking Saka. Definitely not taking Saka. I tell you another one who ain't playing on that artificial pitch. Tierney. Stay away.
Yeah, Tierney.
Stay away.
I won't take Tierney to Bodo Glimt. The actual, funny enough, the game in Switzerland tomorrow has been moved. They moved the stadium. They moved to the stadium to a place called St. Gallen. That's where they're going to be playing the game. It's not even happening in Zurich. Bigger stadium where they can play the game. But St. Gallen, by the way, they're top of the league at the moment over there. But you bring the reinforcements. Even Jesus, you bring those guys.
You bring Jay? No,
yeah, you bring them.
I'm keeping them at home, man.
And plus, as well, for me as well, this is a mindset thing as well. I think in football, this is like, he's going to be tired because he played on Thursday.
But you know what though?
Why
can't we?
Especially this early in the season. If you play on a Thursday, as a professional football, you play on a Thursday and you play on a Sunday, you shouldn't be tired. I'm sorry, right? So to me, I feel, especially with the games that's coming up, I would take Jesus. I wouldn't use him unless I had to, but you never know, man. You've got to have something in reserve. You would, if you'd be one of the first people who went over there, and we're 2-0 down, you look on the bench, you see all kids, you'd be like, why didn't they bring Jesus?
No, I was going to say, I'll be more excited if we had a couple of under-23s. I know there's, I think his name's Koze Dubry, like, I think he went to a school in Tottenham. He's looking like he's a real good product. There's, what's the other guy's name? There's a winger that, I can't remember his name now, long hair. He looks good. I feel like there's a couple of players in the under-23s that I think we should probably give a chance to.
But you can't take it for granted. It's the first game. We need to go and get the win. Go and get the win. Go about 3 goals up. Then you can do them sort of things. But get the win. Beat PSV next week. Then beat Bodo Glimt. I think once you won those 3 games, you're more or less there.
Fair enough.
You're more or less there.
I don't necessarily disagree, but I'm just saying, do you know what? For me, I think of the travelling aspect, and I'm like, not that it's a wasted journey, but you just kind of... You're just making man travel for almost no reason. But look,
listen, you go as Zurich, and as well, these players, they fly all the time. The flight from London to Zurich probably be the same as a flight from here to Newcastle.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's no big deal. I get the Bodo Glimt one is a bit different.
Yeah.
But even going to Eindhoven's not far.
No, 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
So to me, it's when I look at these games, as I said, they're favourable.
Yeah.
They could have been worse. We could have had some long trips to some. You know, I don't like the artificial pitch.
No.
I guess I didn't really realise that, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
I don't like that, and I could see a lot of players being left at home for that one.
Yeah, 100%. Partey can't go, man. No way. I wouldn't even play Tierney. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Tierney as well, yeah.
I wouldn't play Tierney.
I don't think I'd be wanting to play Tierney out there as well. The other question is, have we sent too many of our kids away on loan?
No.
Right, because, you know, you mentioned him earlier. Somebody like a Charlie Patino could have been playing in these games and getting a bit of experience.
No, but you know what? Before he got injured, he was playing game in, game out. He's looking excellent. I saw one game they played against QPR before he got injured. He looked absolutely superb in that game. For me, Balogun, I think he's got 4 goals in Liga.
Yeah.
Look,
could we not done with the Balogun now?
No, because he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now. He wouldn't even be on the bench. You know Arteta. He would not even play him. So what is
the Europa League game?
No. What I'm saying is in the Premier League, he wouldn't even be on the bench. So for me, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but for these games, for these Europa League games.
Yeah, but he's getting way more.
You're saying about leaving players like Jesus at home, not even taking them.
Yeah.
If maybe we hadn't sent him away on loan, we could have him for these games.
He's got so much more experience playing in. He's playing in a week in, week out, scoring goals, feeling confident. He'll be cold coming in. What Arsenal will be like. He comes in, he has a poor performance. Why did we not send him out on loan? What's he doing? Let's sell him. But now he's showing his worth. He's showing his value. Look at Nuno Tavares. He looked like a poor player at times at Arsenal because why? He was left in the cold. He wasn't playing week in and week out. Now look what he's got. I think he's got 3 goals from left back, playing exceptionally well. For me, I think Arsenal are doing some really good stuff with the loan market at this current moment in time.
What about the left centre back position then? Because in that game tomorrow, I know we can leave Saliba out because you can bring in Rob Holding.
I'm not gonna lie,
what is Gabriel?
I think any game that Gabriel plays is better for his mental state at this moment in time, bro. Because
come on, the way you're carrying on like he's been awful all season.
No, listen.
You made a couple of mistakes in the last couple of games.
Rob.
Saliba made a mistake in the last game as well.
I don't.
The United, he sort of had that little half slip.
Look, for me, I like Gabriel. I've always said to you, Gabriel's
hating on him, hasn't he?
Gabriel's going to take you to a certain point. I don't think he's a title-winning Premier League kind of centre-back. He makes too many mistakes. I think he needs to play in more games to get his mindset right. To say, do you know what? This is probably the perfect game because it's a lesser opposition. It's a lesser opposition, and it just gets your mindset back. You had a shaky game last game. This is for you to kind of. It's a get-back game. Get your confidence up because you've got next game. I think we've got Everton, and who's their striker? We've got Iwobi kind of playing it well, and look, and Gordon, like he's going to be a tricky player, really diminutive kind of player. For me, Gabriel needs to play. He needs to start showing the quality that he showed in the first. He needs to start showing why he deserves a new contract, in my opinion. He needs to start showing that we shouldn't take that 45-50 million that Juventus were touted going, because for me, he's good, but I know he's not playing centre back, but Gabriel is is not been up to the levels that we know he can. Let's just keep it at that. He's not been at the levels.
I don't think he's as bad as you're making out. He made a mistake in the last game.
Rob, you know this because
he's made 2 mistakes. Yeah, I know that. Right?
And how many games?
But he's a quality player.
How many
he's also scored a goal as well.
Yeah, but no. How many? You said he made 2 mistakes in how many games?
In 6.
That's not good enough. That's poor. Rob, if this was any other team, any other player, you'd be mentioning it. You can't be biased against Arsenal.
I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased. I'm saying that I still think he's a quality player. He's made a couple of mistakes, and I agree with you.
But you know what?
I agree with you that he should play. He should be playing this game.
You said he's made a couple of mistakes. I say he makes too many mistakes. He makes too many mistakes for an Arsenal centre back at a big club. If you want to take your game to the next level, look how we all cost.
Remember the last lot we had?
Well, look, exactly.
He's a lot better than them. I'll tell you that.
You know what? You look how everyone kind of talks about Koulibaly. He's a good player.
He's made mistakes.
Exactly.
He's made more mistakes than Gabriel.
But why do we not put Koulibaly in that top level kind of centre back?
Some centre backs can make mistakes, you know. I mean, even like, I saw Fofana last night. But
no one said he's a top level centre. He's not.
He's just paid 70 million.
Doesn't matter about the price though, Robbie. Look, what does your eye tell you? He's a good player. He's not a top level centre back. Now, what we know, he needs to improve in certain things. Gabriel needs to improve in certain things to get to that next level. We know he's a good centre back. We want the best. We want to get to the point where we can challenge Man City. We can challenge Man United consistently home and away. We can challenge Spurs away from home. And he needs to show he's a leader.
I'm saying you're not flawless. You know what I mean? Like, you say challenge Man City. I see
Van Dijk's basically flawless.
I see.
Matip's flawless.
Not this season.
Yeah, not this season. But
John Stones is not flawless. He plays for Man City, doesn't he?
Yeah, but yeah. Okay.
So I'm saying, you know what I mean? Don't get carried away because he's made a couple of errors.
My man said, "Look, we need to concentrate on our team. Stop talking about other teams for a sec."
You're the one who started with the comparisons.
I'm just saying to you, for me, he's a good centre back. It's not a witch hunt out because I like Gabriel. I want to see you be the you know what I want him to do? I want you to be the dominating centre back to show Saliba, you're 24 now. I'm the dominant and I'm going to help you through games. And I just don't feel like he does that. He gives me the shakies a bit. I'm a little bit worried when he's on the ball.
I like him. CM Wild Games says this is his team. He says Turner. Remember, we get to see him in goal hopefully tomorrow. Cedric, who won't be playing because he didn't travel. Holding Tomiyasu. He's got Tomiyasu playing as a centre back, but I think he might be put right back. D'Souza, who I don't think is eligible to play, so I don't think you will see him. Matt Smith, who's been on the bench, the youngster. Xhaka, Vieira, Martinelli, Nketiah, and Marquinhos. Carrington Blunt says Gabriel's been shaky. See what you started now? Propaganda.
Someone says I'm a delusional Gooner, though, so I don't know.
Rizwan says Europa League or top 4. For me personally, trophies should be our priority. This team needs silverware to solidify that winning mentality. That's an interesting one.
For me, I think everyone talks about the process. And it's funny that everyone mentions the process now. Man United mentioned this process when they were laughing at us. Chelsea are now in a process when they were laughing at us. But for me, I think Arteta's, I'm fully behind him. I think he's improving as a manager. But I think he needs to not only get Europa League, but I think he needs to get top 4. I think he needs to show that he's improving in all formats, in all facets of the game, and start to overachieve a little bit. There's nothing wrong with you spent almost 300 and something million in 3 seasons. That's a lot of money.
Chelsea needs
no. But yeah, I know, but that's a lot of money for us to spend, and we are improving. You need to now show us that not only are our players good, but you're the manager to take us to that point, I think.
Okay, Dom says Gooner is spot on about Gabriel, Robbie. Way too erratic. Has his moments on the ball, but overall you can tell he's not comfortable. Once Saliba and Ben White are paired, they won't be replaced. Listen, Ben White is more a right-sided.
Yeah, he is.
Really play on the left-hand side, so I don't agree with that. Listen, let's get the final results of the poll. In 4th place is William Saliba. Oh, I think this disappeared on me like that. William Saliba. It was you. William Saliba on 14% of the votes. Coming in on 3rd place is your pick, Gabriel Martinelli, 23%. In 2nd place, Martin Odegaard with 30%. And the winner is Gabriel on... No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, hey, listen, don't you dare.
Well, it is Gabriel. It's Gabriel Jesus. Yeah. On 31%. Congratulations going out to Gabriel Jesus, our Arsenal Player of the Month. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow is the big one, FC Zurich versus Arsenal. We're going to be here in the studio, big watch along tomorrow. We'll be speaking to the fans as well, so make sure you check it out on here. Massive game. Arsenal back in Europe after being out of there last season. It's felt weird last year, so at least we're back. It's not the Champions League music we want to be hearing, but it's the first step back. Let's go out there and win it. Thanks for watching Gooner. Thank you very much.
Listen,
Mike.
Big up. Make sure that we change our mindset, man. Make sure we change our mindset. Tomorrow it's going to be... What? You didn't do score predictions, man.
Go on then.
I'm going to say 3-0.
I'm going to go... We go 4-1.
You think we're going to concede?
4-1. Because, I don't know, because there's going to be a lot of changes. We could concede a goal. But I'm going 4-1. We're going to bang in some goals tomorrow.
Yeah.
Eddie and Ketia to get a couple.
Marquinhos might get a goal.
Marquinhos, Eddie and Ketia. Maybe one for Fabio Vieira. Looking forward to it tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.